She thinks you're nice. She claims you got everything to take you to paradise. Ain't that a killer? She likes your loving. She likes your rig. Ah. But man, oh man, them things is too big. Yes, your feet's too big.
Oh, Lord. There was some things.
What was the floor show like?
What was it, the floor like?
What was the floor show?
Oh, they were made up of different people, different acts. And they didn't have it every night, but they had bands and music all night long. Sometimes they stayed open, see, it wasn't 24 hours like Jenkins Place and a few more bars. This town was something then.
Oakland is a city of unlimited treasures, from its green wooded parks to its cultural splendors. Oakland is a very special place to me. Its people are my family. It's where I grew up and have chosen to live. I love Oakland, and I'm proud to be its mayor.
Projects at Preservation Park and Victorian Row. Oakland's Metropolitan District is being revitalized. Backbone supporters like the Tribune and a variety of Broadway mainstays also serve to bolster economic resurgence. And with downtown construction on the rise, Oakland's skyline is constantly changing and expanding. But what makes Oakland special are its people, whose ethnic and cultural diversities make up its homey neighborhoods. 19 miles of waterfront border Oakland's Jack London area, a favorite tourist attraction. The Embarcadero's historical significance, combined with contemporary
Wilson was Oakland's first African-American mayor. He served from 1977 to 1990. And over the course of the years he was our mayor, a lot of downtown Oakland really changed a lot. He also oversaw the recovery from the '89 earthquake. And so when we built this new administration building here in the City Center Plaza, we named the building in his honor. Another one of the downtown buildings in Oakland that's new is the L.U.M. Harris State Building. The State Building is named in honor of L.U.M. Harris, who was a state legislator, and then he was mayor of Oakland for 8 years. He's Oakland's second African-American mayor. And over his 8-year term, he was largely responsible for the rebuilding after our Hills fire, our disastrous Hills fire of 1991, destroyed 3,000 homes, 25 people lost their lives, and under Mayor Harris, the city was able to rebuild.
Here to you. Well, the Warriors will be here on October 30th, Sunday from 4 to 8. We have jazz, blues, and green. Right now we're featuring Faye Carroll and the dynamic Keto Gamble.
Today, I'm your salesman for today. I see you looking at a nice stereo. This is a very nice stereo. You got surround sound. You hear things come from the other room. You hear the kids holler. What else can I do for you? You like that? You don't like the surround sound? Well, look here. We got another stereo right here.
Yeah. Well, girl, leave him. Leave him. All right. Thank you for calling. That's Love Talk with Renee.
Until recently, Oakland has endured a long, slow economic decline. A blue-collar city down on its luck. For many years, downtown Oakland looked like a ghost town. Jerry Brown came along at the right time. The Bay Area economy was booming. He pledged to bring prosperity to Oakland.
It's time, Oakland. It's time to hook up the train in the center.
Brown figures that if he can bring 10,000 new people downtown, stores and restaurants are sure to follow. At least that's the idea, his 10K plan. This is the kind of housing project the mayor envisions for downtown Oakland, and he's frustrated by the obstacles to building more.
You got to convince the banks and the developers, and then the economy changes right in the middle. So it takes a lot of work, and then there's this kind of negative cheering section that says anything that happens, whoa, that's going to disrupt something. So we're going to be displaced. That's, they get a name for it. They'll call it gentrification, or they'll call it something.
If you began to examine the Democratic and Republican Party, the so-called bipartisan parties of this country, you find out that politics in this country are not bipartisan. They're very partisan. And they're partisan toward white people, rich white people with money. So you find yourself saying, what value is the Republican and Democratic Party to oppress people in this country? The answer to that is none. Function other than oppressing people in this country.
In Oakland.
Wait, what was that?
Libby Schaff for mayor. Because it's hella time for leadership in Oakland.
She's white. Why'd she say that?
People being themselves, so I appreciate her being herself. And that speaks volumes.
Libby Schaff spent her first full day as Oakland mayor working overtime with police today.
And Elizabeth, there is no mistaking Libby Schaff's priorities. She wants Oakland to be a safe city. She also wants city workers to know that she supports them. Right now, the new mayor is on a ride-along with police, and she's listening and she's learning.
Well, congratulations.
Thank you.
Well, thank you for coming up here today.
She expects some change. On a previous ride-along, she was frustrated at the wasted time while officers repeatedly input the same information into their car computers.
Today, I met the gentleman who is responsible for fixing that problem. I told him I want a deadline by which to give us a solution.
See, because politics has been adequately defined. If we examine what Chairman Mao says about politics, he says that politics is war without bloodshed, and war is an extension of politics. When you examine the Republican and Democratic Party, you find that the similarities are greater than the differences in those two parties. Every candidate who's running today is running off the same platform.
The report confirms what African American residents of Oakland, California have long known, seen, and felt. Police often treat them very differently than white residents.
We found a significant pattern of racial disparities in who was stopped, in who was handcuffed, in who was searched, and in who was arrested.
They expected to find about 7,800 stops of African Americans. In fact, there were more than double, almost 17,000 stops. Analysis of the body cam video also found disparities. Lead researcher Jennifer Eberhardt says while no racial slurs were uttered, certain words were used far more frequently when an officer questioned an African American.
We started by just looking at linguistic patterns in that footage, and we found, for black stops, words that are associated with probation, parole, arrest, jail time.
Politics and being political with what America considers politics. In other words, the two-party system are this monolithic party that America has, the white party, the WPP, White Power Party. And black people in the movement tend to identify with politics along these lines. They tend to stress the importance of the vote. And they see politics as just being the vote and putting people into office. But that's not true. You have to realize that everything that you do in this country is political. Every move you make is political, and every move that white people or the ruling class makes against black people is political. You have to worry about them moving politically. If it can become sufficient to be black and proud, then you don't have to worry about the oppression that grips black people. To be black will become ego gratifying. In other words, black people will form a cult, and they will be nothing else but black and proud, and they will boogaloo to the concentration camps when the man chooses to send them there.
I don't think most people understand it's a housing crisis. The reason why it's a housing crisis, since 2010 to 2015, 60,000 people have been evicted. They're just sweeping them from street to street like they're herds of cattle. They're not cattle, they're human beings. And they have a human right to a place to live.
Right.
It doesn't matter what your income status is. These people have gave their whole life to Oakland. They paid taxes here, they lived here, they paid rent. You understand what I'm saying? They've raised their kids here.
Right.
They don't deserve what they're getting right now, which is nothing from the city of Oakland. Nothing at all.
57 units. Come on, you got to move in.
What is it?
Live work units.
When is it going to be?
October 1st. I don't think he'll be moving in, but at least now he'll be able to go out and tell everybody what it is.